eternal warriors.
What if I told you that your biggest problem in life is not laziness, not lack of talent, not even lack of opportunity, but something you use every single day without even thinking? Right now, your brain is being trained, not by school, not by books, not by mentors, but by something far more dangerous: instant pleasure. Every time you pick up your phone for no reason, every time you scroll just a little longer, every time you choose comfort over effort, you are rewiring your brain. And here's the scary part: you don't even notice it happening. You think it's harmless. But what if I told you that every second of easy pleasure is making hard things feel impossible? Why is it so hard to focus? Why do you start things and never finish them? It's not because you're weak, it's because your brain has been hijacked, and the more you give in, the more control you lose. Look at your life. How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow, I'll do it later"? But later never comes, because you've trained your brain to choose what's easy over what actually matters. And now, discipline feels painful, focus feels impossible. Not because you can't do it, but because your brain no longer wants to. But here's the truth: the same brain that was programmed can be reprogrammed, and everything changes when you take back control. So sit back and let me unfold the truth about dopamine and discipline.
You don't have a motivation problem. You have a dopamine addiction. Every day, without realizing it, you're training your brain to crave the easiest rewards. Scrolling, short videos, instant messages, quick pleasure, zero effort. And the more you feed it, the weaker your discipline becomes, because your brain is not designed for success. It is designed for survival and pleasure. And in today's world, pleasure is everywhere. Think about this. Your brain releases dopamine, not just when you feel pleasure, but when you expect it. That's why you check your phone without thinking. That's why you open apps without purpose. That's why you start something important and suddenly feel the urge to just check one thing. It's not random, it's conditioning. You've trained your brain to choose easy over meaningful. So when it's time to work, your brain resists. When it's time to build, your brain escapes. When it's time to grow, your brain negotiates. Discipline feels painful because it goes against what your brain is used to. Your brain asks, why do something hard when something easy feels good right now? So you delay, you procrastinate, you promise to start later, but later never comes because dopamine doesn't wait. It pulls you back again and again. You will never feel like doing the hard things, not consistently, not magically, not one day in the future. That's the lie people keep telling themselves. When I feel ready, I'll start. No, you start, and then you become ready. You don't destroy dopamine, you replace it. You shift your reward system from easy pleasure to earned satisfaction. At first, it feels boring, because your brain is used to high stimulation. But if you stay consistent, something powerful happens. Your brain adapts slowly. The things that once felt hard start to feel normal, then enjoyable, then necessary. This is where your life begins to change, not with motivation, but with intentional control. You don't need to quit everything forever, but you must create space, limit mindless scrolling, constant notifications, endless entertainment. Because as long as easy dopamine is always available, discipline will always lose. Don't try to change your whole life overnight. That's another trap. Start with 10 minutes of focused work, one task completed fully, one promise kept to yourself. Consistency rewires identity. do hard things without reward. This is where most people fail. They want a reward immediately. But discipline is built when you act, even when there's no applause, no validation, no instant result, just you doing what must be done. Sit in the discomfort. Don't escape it. That urge to check your phone, ignore it. That urge to quit, stay. Because every time you resist, you take back control. Stop saying, "I'm trying to be disciplined." Start saying, "I am disciplined." Your actions will follow your identity. Everything changes. You stop needing motivation. You stop depending on feelings. You become someone who executes, regardless of mood. And that's dangerous, because most people are controlled by distraction. But you become controlled by purpose. Dopamine is not the enemy, but uncontrolled dopamine is. Right now, your brain is wired for comfort, but it can be rewired for greatness. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because every time you choose discipline over distraction, you are rebuilding your mind. And one day, you'll wake up as someone who no longer negotiates with excuses. The life you want is on the other side of the impulses you keep obeying.